Frank's retirement home. Quarterfinals. We have. I forgot the name already.
Death Dealers versus Ice Age?
That sounds about right. Perfect. They don't need to hear you anyway. So far we've got bands a Nike, a Cherno, a Hercules, and a Ganesha.
Yeah, all pretty standard bands. Nothing too crazy there.
I mean, except for the Hercules, I haven't really seen him get picked or banned all too often.
He's just one of those gods that, like, if you know somebody's good on him, you just don't want to deal with it. Just so much displacement, longevity in a fight with his heal. Just hard to deal with if somebody is a Herc player.
Yeah. And a Mulan, who kind of feels like they're just focusing out the solo, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely focused on those solo bands. You know, two pretty high pressure ones, especially Mulan with her recent buffs, been doing incredibly well, so not too surprising seeing her get banned out, and Athena rounding it off, taking away that global rotation ability.
No hesitation in that Geblock, though. Now, I personally am not one for a Geb first pick. I feel like if you're going to first pick a support, there is still a couple more left open. Ooh. Agni? I don't mind that, but again, very high up there for a picks. A lot of good jungles left open that can kind of just stomp on an Agni, especially with the removal of a Ganesha.
Yeah, still looking at like your big semi-globals with that Thor with a Ratatosker. Certainly not what you're expecting out of your first couple of picks, but if I've learned anything about, lower level competitive Smite, comfort is king. You play gods you're comfortable on, you'll do way better than just playing the meta.
Speaking of meta things, maybe the solo is comfortable on this, but Achilles kind of played him basically right after they buffed him a little, and he's a menace again. And following that, Arachne,
That's a Papoose special. That's a Papoose special. The Arachne, the Bakasura, he loves those auto attackers, so not too surprising there. A Yorm Hover is though, because what is the natural enemy of a Yorm?
An Execute.
An Execute. What do we have for a solo laner on the other side? An
Execute.
A recently buffed Execute, might I add. That's tough. That's gonna slam that in there.
Ooh.
All right.
So far, I do think left side kind of not the most coherent draft so far.
I mean, they didn't spend too much time on their picks. They must have some sort of plan.
They're cooking something.
We'll see if they're cooking, when they come out of base with no recipes.
Yeah, the kitchen and Terra. Terra is one of my favorite supports. I'll be real with you, but she has such a high skill floor, high skill ceiling. So she's almost. She's not one of those ones you could just kind of pick up and throw it at someone.
No, definitely one of those, harder to play gods for sure. But a good Terra is an absolute nightmare. Sticking a wall right where you don't want it to be, hitting that root, hitting that stun. Even her ultimate, that extra bit of burst damage is something you don't notice all the time, but is so impactful as we round off bands looking at some of those semi-global assassins like I was talking about earlier, and then the Cuckoo that's been seeing a lot more play recently, and the Morgan Le Fay. Okay.
Yeah. Cuckoo, I was expecting to see Guzzy on the other team if you're banning Cuckoo. That's I've played with that guy a little bit, and all I've known about him is the Cuckoo special.
Yeah, definitely the Guzzy special for sure. I've been on teams with it and whatnot. It's Cuckoo. If the Cuckoo's open, we're playing Cuckoo, but he's actually been seeing a lot more play recently. So not as crazy as you might think with a Cuckoo ban.
Yep. We do see a Sun Kong on her and a Hachi. Now, that means that this Yor might be heading mid. Which, I'm not going to say much on that, but I have tried Yor mid. It kind of works, but it kind of doesn't.
You know, if the jungler like doesn't want to kill you, it works pretty good. You know?
Yeah, which, they do have last pick, and they're going to pick a Ravana, which, honestly, Ravana kind of one of those junglers which I think like you can hyper carry on. You can kind of be even against the enemy jungler, but behind Ravana is just a I don't know. It feels like he does nothing at that point. Like,
Yeah, from behind he does not put out that damage, but he still has a lot of utility. You know, you build a defense item on him, you get a rune forged hammer, all of a sudden you're actually contributing instead of just poking people with a stick. You know, you're letting your teammates poke them a little bit harder with theirs.
I will say, in terms of poke, both teams do have quite a bit of it.
Yeah, I definitely have to lean towards the agony for being able to poke just
Yep.
late game. Oh yeah, I throw a random bomb over the wall. You take 850 damage. Have fun.
That
Gonna
being
have to take some time.
Yeah, that being said, though, that Geb shield could come in clutch if you used it correctly.
Yeah, definitely. I'm expecting a lot of aggression out of this blue team. There's no stop button on that. On her got the nice jump in. Arachne's always looking to be in that melee range. Sun Wukong Yorm. That is full dive if I've ever seen it with a Geb to back them up, keep them in the fight.
Yeah, and we. Hmm.
But yeah, other than that, which team are you favoring? Which one of
Honestly,
these crafts?
you know what? They're both kind of cooking. I think it's what the death. I don't think that's the Death Dealers. I think. Okay. The Ice Age, I think, has a more cohesive draft, but I'm gonna say Death Dealers just because I love your mid and the meme that it is.
I respect it. They just certainly have an identity around their draft now. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with this game number 1.
Alrighty, and we see that you're mid. I, there's one thing that surprised me on this thing already, right? Usually you'll see a Yorm with like a gilded arrow, or sometimes a conduit, but Sands of Time.
Yeah,
And
interesting. Doesn't have that blue buff to give him the mana sustain to keep himself up. So you need a little bit more MP5 in the build.
yeah, as we do see, Arachne and your base damage rivaling that of a Agni Dash. Upside down smile. uh,
Certainly a scary mid lane to get into melee range of.
yeah, it almost feels like the moment you step close to this mid lane, you're just gonna lose half your HP bar.
Yeah, definitely no fun. Taking that step up to clear the wave, thinking, man, is he going to 2 me for half of my health bar because he's Yorm? Haha, funny.
Yeah, but it kind of looks like the Agni poke damage coming into effect there against them, so he can kind of sit back, chill under his tower.
Yeah, especially once he gets to that level 5, throwing those bombs out on cooldown just to poke out Dashy on this Yorm certainly
That
would be pretty effective.
Dashi eats one ability. I think he's dead, and he knows that because he's just gonna recall there. And back to the no. Speaking of things and stuff, Achilles doing Achilles things.
Achilles and Sun Wukong both doing, solo lane things.
Yep.
I'm gonna hit the other guy. Yup. I love hitting the other guy.
Yeah. We do see this Wukong going into a you think that's gonna be a Jotun's first item?
Oh yeah, that's going to be that new start, the Jotun's Vigor that we start to see come out, replacing that Soul Leader. Gets a little bit more cooldown, a little bit more power online at the cost of, percent pen, but percent pen, who cares about that early game?
I
Great gank from Simple Mill going to take lethality off the board. Just comes in, 1-2 punch, bing bang boom, you're dead.
Ooh, Hachi's bees getting forced, his shard getting forced as well. That's Arachne gank, so just gonna send him back under that tower. Terra gonna sustain up. That is one thing they will need is some anti-heal because Terra healing is funny.
Yeah, you got the Terra healing, Achilles healing with his 2, Ravana with his 3. Definitely a decent amount of healing to worry about.
Yeah, and we can't forget we all know what Achilles goes when he goes axe. So, but speaking of stuff and things, they're gonna invade the blue buff. So
Yeah, going to invade the blue buff and put lethality already back into critical condition at about, 30-40% health. Certainly
yeah,
not feeling good getting pressured out in this lane. This Achilles is probably just gonna start running with this.
yeah, and we've seen a fed Achilles kind of just run our team down. I personally am not a fan of it, having played carry positions and having played solo and having to deal with the fed Achilles. Speaking
Yeah,
of,
like what is lethality supposed to do here? Oh,
uh,
dodge? Weave?
Scopey
Okay.
just gonna
Alright.
miss, but
Skill issue.
yeah, kind of just comes down to Scopey not being able to hit the execute.
It just be like that sometimes.
Yeah, long straight line ability that moves with you a little, very hard to hit. That being said, when it comes into a large body of people who are all executable, you just get a field day.
Certainly do, when every target's a winner. Certainly does help.
You can't
Dashi's
miss them.
surprisingly not getting as poked out as I might have thought.
I think Nova's kind of afraid to maybe poke him out a little, maybe concerned that, if he uses his stun on him or something. Yeah, there we see it. Just immediately seeing Arachne roll up and just dashing away.
That's fair. I mean, if Yorm is leveling up his 1, it probably does about as much damage as an Agni Bomb, because Guardians are dumb.
I mean, yeah, considering. And other things we're seeing is, you know, Geb and Anher managing to send Terra and Hachi under a tower, but immediately the moment Geb leaves, Anher's stuck under this tower.
Well,
So,
yeah, on her, he's got no mana. He's just not having a great time.
Yeah. Just move that across the desk. Don't worry, I'll just throw my mic across my desk anyway, just in case.
So a little bit of a gank coming out on this Hachi. Dash gets him away for just a moment. Bede's forced out. Not willing to use that ult quite yet. Cataclysm going to take him out. There's the mounted archery. Papoose might be in a little bit of trouble here. Mystic Rush off the mark. Still going to force out the ult, and that should be about the end of this fight.
Yeah. As we saw, Hachi just refused to push 4.
Yeah, he'd rather use everything than just, press that mounted archery.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a little bit of a shorter cooldown than Beads. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying, you can use an ult to immune some abilities here. And in return for ganking him, he says, "This is my purple now. You have transgressed your sins." And Nova Shark gonna solo Dashi. It's looks like Yorm didn't even ult. It's like, oh, I can survive the poke, and died. And oh, more people dying, but this time it's just a support, so expendable. Is Nova Shark gonna get soloed by his red buff? No, damn it. I just want to see someone get soloed by a buff at least once, you know? What else? Okay. What do we. All right, so we do see that cudgel coming out. We see Achilles' respective glad shield. Which. No. That is one thing I didn't even notice. The Achilles went beads. So he doesn't have that TP like that Wukong. So the Wukong could impact some fights a little later on. With it, force some awkward 4v5s. That being said, Achilles kind of just already pulling himself a nice level lead, I'd say. Oh. This is not good for Dashi as Geb's ult is forced to try to save him, and Dashi half health just from, getting Terra stunned. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, under his tower, almost dead. I'm guessing Pockles hit every single one of those enhanced autos on him under that tower. Which, it is interesting, and meanwhile, a gank over in solo. Wukong gonna ult. Arachne gonna ult away as well. And I think that's just gonna be the end of that. Nothing more. And meanwhile, getting soloed again. And Geb getting caught out of position. Are they gonna pick up the kill? Terra dash down? Ooh. Geb is living for a lot longer than he should right now. I'm just gonna tell you that. And oh, there we go. They finally pick up the kill on the Geb. Meanwhile, Agni gonna be caught out by Papoose there. More like Papoose is caught out by the Agni now. And looks like they're just gonna walk away from each other. Hey. And meanwhile, Achilles back to, and we're back to just Dashi gonna get punched by a Terra.
Yep, going to get punched by a Terra. Now, Dashi going a little bit interesting with the building what I'm assuming is going to be a Pythax.
Seeing that item built gives me PTSD.
Makes me think of Mage Solos.
Yep.
It's scary. I'm glad that the villain has been defeated,
I mean, how many nerfs did it take to get rid of it?
None of the first ones really did anything. That last one did pretty well though.
Yep.
They can still be played, but they're not like, oh wow, that's crazy strong anymore. Dang. Nova a little too trigger shy and not going to pull
Oh,
the second bomb out. Ooh.
okay. That came down to who was going to hit the auto first, and it looked like neither.
Certainly did look like neither for a second. Struggling to land those, high pressure situation. If you're Pockles, you can't be 2 levels up and get soloed, that one hurts the feelings, so just
That,
barely picks that one up.
oh, here we see Dashi kind of looking to. Oh my goodness, that damage.
Yeah, Yorm even from behind just kind of does that. That's why, he's the solo laner, he builds 0 damage items and he just kills you anyway.
We might see Nova get soloed by. Nope, never mind. Yor missed every other one of his ticks. That still gets killed, but immediately gets killed right after by Simple.
Yeah, but you did die to the Yorm. You gotta hold that one. The
Yeah.
Yorm mid took you out.
The fact that you got killed by the enemy mid who was down in XP to you. And
Okay, alright, that's not a Pythags, that is a Soul Gem.
Do you remember when that was built on like mage mids and all you would see is like that on like Agni or Merlin?
Yeah, that was like right around 9.5, so like almost a year ago.
Yeah. Remembering metas that make you cry.
As long as it's not season 7, I'll be alright. I
You
don't
know,
need the Herc beating me up at my speed buff and then teleporting to lane. I don't need that back.
you know what I don't need back ever? Release Guan Yu. I don't ever want to see that thing again.
Nah, give him back the bongos. He deserves them.
If I see a release Guan, I think I'm gonna uninstall Spite and never show up again. That's pretty much like wishing terror upon your worst enemy and then laughing.
I mean, they released, release Mommin, so like they'll do anything at this point.
That you would be correct. Papoose gonna get out there by the use of his all Agni's Aegis. And Pockle's gonna solo Fallen once more, but it looks like every time they do a trade, Pockles is getting really low. And Papoose gonna get caught out by the Achilles. And it looks like Achilles is about to have the biggest field day of his life. He doesn't miss this time. I thought his Terra had messed him up with that. And
If people just body block him into it, he can grab those executes no problem. Picks himself up a triple kill, and that's gotta feel good, You're a solo laner, you're never really in fights. You get like, the first big fight over by your side, and bing bang boom, 3 kills.
Especially on a god like Achilles, where you're already ahead and you just solidified that lead. What's interesting is we see the Terra rushing, Pridwin, Geb going the standard, prosthetic into Thebes, which, on a god like Geb, I don't think you stack that effectively.
I mean, he's at 25 already. We're 13 minutes into the game. He's getting active.
He's getting active, but sometimes getting active does not mean it is worthwhile.
I mean, he has a kill. That's more than like most of his team. So like, can you blame him?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. You got me there.
Does have half of his team's kills. That's all I'm saying.
Geb MVP. Papoose gonna try to do something against this Achilles, but he is a level 13 Achilles who really doesn't care. Wukong gonna ult under the tower. I'm very confused by that ult. Oh.
Yeah, I feel like Achilles could probably win this 2v1.
Well, it's about to be a 3v1 with Geb missing the rollout. He's gonna beads to the. Oh, that was a fantastic beads. Geb shield gonna come out. What is going on here? There's no way.
I told you he wins these.
He lives, picks up a kill. Dashi picks up a kill, but immediately gets killed.
He traces the tower. It's fine. You won that. You're Yorm. You win that.
Yep. And Scopey's not finished yet. He's not done. He said, "I see a Geb in my lane, and it is time to pay witness."
Going to have to teach him a lesson. Don't try to gank me. You can't fight me under my tower. I win those.
1v3, Scopey. Oh, Scopey's still not done. Maybe he is now. He's just gonna go for the tower now. I hope. I don't really want to see him die of a T2.
I mean, have you ever really known a solo laner to just back off and say, nah, they can live?
Listen, I am that solo later who is like, no, 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 no. I shouldn't be doing this, but I will
Well,
one
I'm
to find
going
your
to.
hole to. Yeah, I don't care how precarious this gets.
That's what I can remember an AGL set from back in the day. Yo, Solo, where you at, bro? I'm in their fountain fighting them. What do you mean? Their tier 1 is up. Yeah. Talon Reese going
Terra,
to find himself to the gray screen. Not yet. Good peel from Nova Shark.
no,
Lands
but
with a double stun.
you know,
Will it be enough?
so Geb saved Terra's life,
Nope.
but okay,
He was
I
just
was
securing the kill for himself. You gotta give him that.
yeah, you know. Meanwhile, we see Geb damage. Geb gonna pick up a double. They're not done yet. Oh, he's done now. They're both done now. They got sent to the grave. And here's Achilles going, ready for round 2, little buddy. And Lethal says, none of this.
All I'm saying is, Miso carrying right now.
Honestly, like 3-5-0 Geb.
I'm not messing with a 350 Geb. Ain't no way.
Yeah, you know, if I see a support who has a better stat line than his carry, I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. I'm just saying.
He's not even last hitting either. He's, second highest damage on his team. He's doing it. He's putting in the legwork.
Yeah, you know, that says something, but you have outdamaged an On-Her, an Arachne, and a Wukong.
They
Who
just
are
need
the
time
two?
to scale. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, early game On-Her needs time to scale.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's even more surprising is Yorm. He is 2-5-3, so he has been a part of every kill.
Yeah, he has this mid lane certainly the breadbasket for the death dealers, getting all of their kills over in here.
Meanwhile,
She's still not looking good though. Ooh.
oh, good peel by the Geb, and he's just gonna run. He sees the Achilles. He says, "No, not a part of this today. Have a nice day. I'll catch you later."
All I'm saying is if Scopy ripped those beads, he gets there in time for the execute.
You know, you're probably right. And you know what Wukong's gonna do? He's gonna say, "You know what?
So
Oh,
close.
I,
Miso
you know,
doing everything he can.
I had faith in the Geb.
He was close. He was probably only like a 150, 200 damage off.
Not even. I think he just blinked a little too late. Didn't expect the shred. Dashi gonna have his beads forced, and Dashi is gonna be in a spot of other. Miso gonna be in a spot, and Agni just gonna dash to the tower. Not even the T1, the T2, because the T1 is still up in mid for some reason.
Well, yeah, every time Dashi dies, he's killing Nova with him. So
What am I witnessing?
Arachne. That is
I
just what Arachne does.
you know, I didn't even click to what's going on, but we've got people clown fiestaing mid. Meanwhile, Arachne said, "Nah, there's an objective up on the map."
Yeah, I want to say it was right before season 10. I theory crafted a garbage Arachne build that soloed EFG in 10 seconds. So that god's just unreasonable. That god is dumb, but at the very least they do have the fire giant to mitigate some of their losses, but I say it's still just pushing up.
Yeah,
So picks up his
Miso.
fourth kill of the game. Somebody
Miso.
sign this man. Put him in the SPL.
Yeah, honestly, Miso, the same level as a solo, a jungle, and a mid. This man is putting on a clinic.
So we might be 7,000 down, but I'm up.
Honestly, out comes the Sunder from, and that is huge for Papoose on the shutdown on Scopy. I'm pretty sure he just gained a massive 2 levels. Level 2 levels.
I think he was, like 2 levels down to Robin, and now he's the same level.
And he's gonna kill the Robin too while he's at it.
No,
no, not the supports. Someone stop the supports this game. They're on a clinic.
This game is so much closer now that, they got that sneaky fire giant. Just a great call saying, yeah, but like we have an Arachne. You have to have wards. We have an Arachne.
You may have wards, but we have spider.
Yeah, those spiders getting buffed was kind of insane, honestly. Her 3 is probably her best ability now, just throwing out those webs for spiders.
Yep.
They did not need a buff. That it was unreasonable.
Meanwhile, Death Dealer's gonna pick up the Pyromancer as well, and that's gonna lower this gold deficit to about 2k. Oh, 3k pretty much.
Yeah, that was up to 7k like just a minute or so ago. A couple
Yeah.
minutes. And now it
Oh,
is 3k. That is a ridiculous amount of a turn.
yep.
They were down so many kills, so much gold, and now all of a sudden, oh yeah, we stuck Fire Giant, and the game's just back even.
Yep. I I hate to say this, but I think you can credit a lot of that to Miso on this Geb. I was very hesitant on this first pick Geb, but Miso's putting in work.
Oh no, he's certainly putting in work. I still just like that's the Arachne play. Just I'm gonna do something by myself if I'm not winning.
Yep. Meanwhile, Arachne looking at the Terra, and we haven't looked at this Arachne build, and I kind of wish I didn't, because I'm just realizing what was built.
Yeah, it's Crit Arachne. Crit Arachne is the one that kills FG fasty.
I'm gonna need my double seeing glasses.
Yeah, Crit still, it got a little bit of nerf to objectives, but still going to be faster than any sort of pen build. So I understand it.
You know, the only thing that doesn't make sense is the rage to me, but it's obviously working. But meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Ice is just gonna take that Primal Fury, as two people try to kill Scopy, and Scopy says, "Not today."
I
Stay
mean,
away from me.
honestly, like Rage kind of got buffed not too long ago. I don't think a lot of people noticed it, but the stacks now give power themselves, so it's a 45 power item when it's fully stacked. Like it's a meaty item.
It's meaty, but how meaty is it going to be when Arachne is forced into a 2v1? And it looks like Arachne is not wanting to be a part of this. Arachne going to have to blink away here. And Ravana going to miss the. What is that? That's called this like backflip, right?
Overhead kick?
Yeah. Those Invon frames are kind of just annoying.
They certainly are. They come out of nowhere. You're Poseidon. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna crack in him. Oh wait,
Wait a minute.
that never works. Oh, he doesn't have his overhead kick. Oh, he mystic rushed. Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, we're going to see Yorm doing Yorm damage, but that overhead kick just muting it.
Yeah, why would I take damage or get CC'd when I could just say no to the Cataclysm,
Exactly. And Yorm's going to come back and be like, hey, Agni going to miss the stun. Yeah. My tongue is tied.
No, you're just too busy daydreaming about Miso.
Yeah, honestly. Miso fan club over here.
I mean, I'm in it for sure.
Meanwhile, Miso gonna roll in there. Say, oh, Achilles is gonna start this fight. His team not as close to him as he would have liked, so they're gonna have to back off. But that doesn't stop the Terror from hitting the stun on Wukong. Miso gonna be in the spot of bother though. Doesn't have it, but he has rollout now. Ooh, Papoose on the angle there, trying to get something, but his ult's gonna be forced out because Agni saw him and he's like, no, Mr. Krabs. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the problem with Arachne, you have to be in that melee range to do, anything, and Agni can just tell you no.
Yeah, Agni is the Uno reverse card. Not as good as Morgan Le Fay though, because that god's just stupid. Anher gonna step up, and Anher's gonna get stunned. Anher gonna have to jump away here, but Scopy on the run. And good impale to send him back as he tries to look for the stun on him.
Yeah, not going to be able to find that stun, not going to be able to find the ADC, but Ice Age finally back in the driver's seat, going to be able to really push this gold lead. I'm expecting, 10k or so before this FG falls off. Other than that, though, let's take a look at these builds. So far, not seeing anything too crazy. Looking at, what's that, going to be a spirit robe for, or mantle? for Miso.
You know,
I don't
as
hate that. A little bit of cooldown, a little bit of defense.
you're
Papoose
just,
absolutely shredding Scopy,
but
but
Nova Shark said nope. Papoose not having that ult available kind of just got himself killed.
it's not his fault he didn't have friends, you know? Scopy had friends. Papoose, he doesn't get that luxury. Takes his one on, one until it's a 1-on-3 and he falls.
Yep. What's interesting is we do see, here's an item that we see built more often now: alternate timeline.
I'm still not a believer, but I understand.
I'm in the same boat as you. I don't like the item. I don't think it's really there much for me. Like, if I'm dying with alternate timeline up, I'm not really living.
Miso, are we just padding damage numbers? What are we blinking into 3 for? You don't have your teammates here. You're just dead. Why are you here? Miso!
Alright, I'm no longer part of the Miso fan club after that fight.
I'm in the Miso neutral club now. I gotta respect what he was going for, but it just didn't work out for him. Dashi also going to figure out that it does not work to dash into a couple of people. Gets himself into a tough spot. Going to be the second to fall. Titans are marching, which will at least buy Death Dealers a little bit of time before their, base is under attack. Papoose leading him on a wild goose chase, that I love. Nova going to not die because he has alternate timeline.
Yep.
You see, that's why I can understand it. I don't have to love it, but I can understand it. Yes.
No, he's dead anyway.
Oh, you alternate timeline now, you're still dead. Don't worry about it. Bozo.
Boost made sure of that angle.
Sid, I might be diving into 5 people as Arachne without ult. I know I'm gonna die, but I'm not letting him live, Gotta respect it.
Meanwhile, we have Miso back up, and what's Miso gonna do here? Ready?
He's gonna run Apocalypse. Bang, bang. Oh, I didn't have enough damage to kill him. Ah, fuck. I'm you can't hit me, I'm a rock. I'm solid, I'm like a rock.
This is a fiesta right now.
Ow. Titan on Titan violence coming in. Dashiway putting a little bit of damage out, trying to stop things from going on, but the base still cracked. And Miso on the screen. Unlucky. Couldn't get his ones.
Don't worry, Papoose is back up.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to stop to kill the Titan, and they're out.
Yeah, I didn't even realize, but they just straight up ignored that Titan to begin with. They said, "We're not about the Titan killing life. We're humble farmers."
We just want the minions to kill it. We're not really interested in doing it ourselves. Can't get the nails dirty.
Just got it pedicured.
Yeah, getting pretty close to that 10K. Only managed 8K or so, 9K. Yeah. Could be worse. This isn't unwinnable for Death Dealers. They just need a miracle.
Well, not quite a miracle, The only time you just have to team wipe them 2 times and then you can win, and then
it's not 30 minutes yet. I think it's 3.
No,
the respawn timers aren't quite long enough yet, I don't think.
Well, no. We watched Miso have a 40-minute death time, 40-second death timer, not 40-minute.
That'd be a big timeout. I'd probably just close the game on that one.
I would walk away. I'd go get dinner. I could have dinner, have a wife, kids. By the time I respawned, I could have a whole family.
Poos in a little bit of an interesting spot. Going to dodge some CC, hitting the weaves.
Yeah, no one expects a fast fighter.
I think people do. I think people just say, dang. Alright, well, he doesn't have ult anymore, so, who cares? Guys, they double blinked on me. They mystic rushed me, please, guys. They're using everything. I'm just a spider. Simple Mill actually in a bit of trouble with that Yormolt coming out. However, there's an Agni, and you have lost all of your health instantly. Yikes.
Just a yikes.
This still isn't the end of the world, you know. Just the fire giant, but it's 30 minutes, so it's the FG.
Yep.
Fallen
Falling
does
gonna
have ult though.
he's gonna beat the stun that wasn't gonna hit. Meanwhile, you know, I wonder if they realize if they just push for it counts as a CC immunity thing.
He was saving it. They pulled off to make sure he couldn't just ult it. I respect it. Boost going to at least pick out his opposition. Going to use the bomb. Little bit of a delay tactic and oh, you're slowed by mounted archery. Still dodging though. Still dodging, still weaving, but he's going to go ahead and fall down, and this is not looking too great, Just two guardians to defend for the next 25 seconds.
You know, I went with Death Dealers because I thought maybe they could make the Yorm cook, but so far the Yorm has flambéed. It has flambéed.
Yeah, unfortunately, they set the oven to broil. Got a little bit too high of a temperature in there. Still putting out work though. I mean, Nova's down. That's one.
Yeah,
Will the
now
game end? They can't get on Pockles hard enough. Or can they? Blocking autos. That's 4 down with EFG. Scopy, are they going to be the next one?
oh my goodness, the clutcher kick moment that Dash needed, and he managed to live with 1 HP.
Hey, he lived, they died. That was 5 with EFG versus 2 Guardians in base.
We love the statistics on that.
It just works.
Yep. They also
What do you do if you're not on Miso's team? You just have to lose this.
Yeah, honestly, Miso hitting his, the Guardians hit the 4/7 power spike.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that Yorm has a lot of power. That is a powerful serpent for sure.
That is, and he doesn't even have his Karen's coin fully stacked yet. I don't think. No, it'd be
Oh,
more purple.
gonna be sitting on 7. Just needs one more. He'll be all right.
Yeah. And
Still, though,
just,
not as far of a game as you might think. With the Yorm mid.
yep. They pulled it back to only 8K deficit when I'm pretty sure they were.
They were like 9, I think, almost 10. So, not bad. But their Titan is not good. Certainly hurting, and without that bird being up, it is not going to be regenning anytime soon.
You know what they say in return to that? Is we're just gonna Nova's got his alternate timeline popped. I forgot the item for a second.
Did get his timeline popped, and still pushing in are the Death Dealers.
Yeah.
And they don't get the bird. This is the worst timeline.
Meanwhile, good body blocks by the solo, but I'm pretty sure Fallen's just gonna die to Mystic Rush there. And everyone just on full retreat. Miso getting left. Miso did take that mid bird. I will tell you that. And he's gonna take the right bird.
Papoose is going to take that right, pay for it with his life, but 2 birds down, you still have your win condition on the defense with Dash Yue there, so might not be a game loser.
Might not be. We see the pings coming out. Someone is pinging a lot. Relax. We get
You can just back. Why are you walking all the way?
Where?
He's not happy with the pings. He is not happy with the pings. You ping me one more time, I swear. Titan not feeling too good, going to take some Agni bombs, and that's going to be game 1 for Ice Age.
Oh my goodness. I'm confused at why we just saw Wukong ulted Fountain.
He was trying to get the distraction clone out there,
You know,
He was setting it up so they didn't know it was a clone.
uh,
What are we hoping for in next game? We thinking maybe a mage in mid?
maybe a mage, or I'll accept an assassin, but it has to be Thor.
What about Mulan? Is Mulan been an option? I think that would work
No.
pretty well.
You know what is surprising? Dashi out damaged the. I'm just baffled.
I'm not. He was putting in the numbies when he was hitting 5 people on the Titan.
Yeah, Pockles, Dopey leading the damage of that game. Pockles second highest, and then a Yorm because World Slippery Boy.
Yep, certainly. Not what I was expecting. I hadn't really been paying too much attention to the damage charts, but maybe it just wasn't their game. Maybe they run back the Yorm, honestly.
Yeah, we there is one thing to be said though. If you almost get out damaged by a Geb, I think you need to retire that pick.
No, I think it's fine. Miso's just him. You can't worry about his damage.
Miso's just Timothy.
I mean, he can hit 5 people with a Cataclysm. He can blink over a wall to do it to 3 people. I mean, you don't have that range. You don't have that ability.
You don't
Especially
have-
not on her. You're hitting one person at a time. Geb's gonna go hit 5 at a time.
Uh,
Other than that, though, gonna take a quick break while we wait for them to get into game number 2.
oh goodness. All right, and we're back with Death Dealers versus Ice Age, and I'm still joined by Ruler, because
No, can't prove it.
no, this is a
No,
Wendy's, sir. This is a Wendy's,
sorry. This is a Burger King.
sir. You can't order that here.
No, but excited to see what Death Dealers cook up for this game number 2. See if we stay with the unorthodox or we move into a little bit more of a meta pick.
Well, you know what they don't want to see is apparently Chernobog.
Yeah, still not a fan of that Cherno. I mean, global rotation certainly hurt. Athena also off the table, and
And
we see
then
the first target ban. Not gonna
Achilles,
let Scopey have that Achilles again.
they said, "Nah, I got executed. Not today."
I mean, to be fair, he was like 10-2. You gotta give it to him at that.
Yo, he kind of was the raid boss of the team, and props to Scopy, he played it very well. We're gonna see another Guardian ban with a Ganesha because no one likes to see an elephant that silences you for 5 to 10 business days.
I certainly don't like it.
I
As a
don't like
support, I don't
playing
even
it.
like it. It's like,
It's
what
like,
am I gonna do? Just sit there and oh.
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Like,
yeah, that's how you're supposed to play him, but like, I'm falling asleep over here.
yeah, exactly. It's hitting nap time, and we're gonna see the Agni ban too, which being out damaged by a Yorm, I don't know if you should respect ban it.
I mean, it's still just annoying to play against. Just
It's
oh
still
yeah,
mad.
I'm gonna drop a bomb for 800 damage over the wall. Yeah, you're gonna have to hold that one. I'm gonna do it again. Actually, a third time.
Hold the L.
Mm, mm. Hold this.
Hold
It's a
this.
bomb.
You can pick one up from Pyro, or you can hold one from me.
I mean, it almost does as much as a pyro bomb. Pyro does 1200 to structures and objectives, and that's about what an Agni bomb hits you for late game. You get that 3K pot, and you just say, "Oh,
And
you
we're gonna
still see that
see
Nike man."
they don't really want to see uh, lethal on a Nike, and we're gonna see Tsukiyomi insta locked here. Now, I love Tsukiyomi. I'm an avid Tsukiyomi enjoyer, very very just lover of that character. But first pick,
I mean, it tells you one thing: they want to go in.
they
You
want to
pick
go in.
Tsukiyomi when you want to go in.
You know what else this tells me? That they're going a mage solo, or this is horror solo.
Yeah, I mean, either way works. Can't be
One
too
thing,
mad. Could even see a Mammon come out because that's open for some reason. Nope,
no,
instead gonna go for Thor.
yep.
I don't know why he makes it through picks and bans. I usually don't let him, but
Sometimes I think other people just prioritize what they're more afraid of, and we're gonna see it's
Tsukiyomi
Suki
solo,
solo. Yep,
Tsukiyomi ADC. That's my heat.
Tsukiyomi mid.
I love Tsukiyomi ADC.
Are we about to see Dashi play Tsukiyomi mid instead of Yorm?
Maybe that's a Susanoo mid. That was going around for a while.
Yeah, that was only going around because Pagon farmed.
Hey, go.
Yeah. Sorry. I gotta report him by the right title. Just farmed. Who was it?
Oh, I can't remember.
It wasn't Hurdy. It was the 3-time world champion. It wasn't Satman. It's the other guy.
Hmm. hmm.
You know who
I
I'm
don't know. I
talking
don't, I don't
about.
follow the SPL too much. I just know that he is our first Blood King. Came in as a rookie and just did it to him.
Yep. And we're gonna see a Baba Yaga. And we're gonna see Hebo. I think it's a Hebo jungle. No, it
we
can't be.
we have some options. There's a lot of options, and all of them say, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna run at you and do a lot of damage."
Yep. Gonna see the Kepri ban. So you can't save Into Squad anymore.
They don't need a Kefri. They just need another assassin as a support. Just build
Yep.
some damage. It'll be fine.
Just go Fenrir.
We'll all die together. It's okay.
We're going in as a team. We're dying as a team.
We're either gonna win in 20 minutes or lose in 15, baby.
Sounds like my average ranked game experience.
No. You lose ranked games at minute 10. Because a person left because you said, "Hey, yo, that wasn't a good play."
No. You lose at 5 because, your support who goes Vulcan says, I'm drunk and I'm a Masters player, but this should be easy. Proceeds to imp the game away and then DC. Chalk. You know, I'm a very avid Shock enjoyer right now, and I do think Chuck does things.
He did get his buff, you know, and he's a strong team fighter too. The big silence certainly hurts. What if you wanted to use abilities, but Shock said you can't use those for the next half hour?
You know what else is a ban? Geb.
Yeah, Geb not banned, but we're gonna pick up the Ares the first time. Just I they have a horse. Where's the Ares going? Where's the horse going? I need answers. Both of these teams just want to keep me guessing. What? Cthulhu? Oh he?
Cut the
What is
script.
this team?
Cut the script.
What is this?
And the recording.
I'm gonna need a minute to process this. My head hurts.
My head started hurting after the first top 3. And then we get into the bottom 2. And then all of a sudden,
When was the last time you saw somebody lock Hou Yi in comp?
when was the last time you saw Cthulhu locked in comp?
Not even on release. You saw him like a couple of times when he was like, you know, a solo laner, but he just ain't it. Who's the support? Is it Cthulhu support?
It can't be Susanoo.
He has CC, he has a knock up, and he has a pull.
Yeah, that's enough, CC. We're gonna see an Artemis lock.
I don't know how they deal with an Artemis.
I don't know how they deal with a Baba Yaga.
Okay, it's Horus solo. Okay.
I am more confused than game 1 right now.
It is Susanoo mid. I had that one. It is Tsukiyomi solo. I had that one too. I predicted it. We out here. So I like this Ice Age draft. You know, Horus solo a little unorthodox, but still pretty strong. And
Tsukiyomi.
I think that they might have just a teensy little bit better of a comp. But what do I know? What if the triple dive just works? You know. We're gonna need a minute to process this while we wait for game number 2 to start.
Yeah. And welcome back to whatever this is. Because
It's quarterfinals. You know, they're bringing us content. Death dealers want content. You know, they want to please the people, and nothing's more exciting than whatever they've decided to craft with their comp.
you know, someone once told me, if you're a bad chef, you shouldn't be in the kitchen. Well,
Well, we
I,
haven't seen if it's bad yet. You know, you can't judge the dish before it's done.
you're right. You're right.
Right now, it's still in the oven. There's time.
There's time
What
to
if they
burn
win
it.
this game in 15 minutes? Like, what are you gonna do then?
I'm I might invest in Bitcoin or something at that point.
Certainly wouldn't be unheard of.
Yeah,
Hou Yi with no pressure in lane, never saw that one coming.
Artemis with pressure.
Artemis Ares with pressure, that's impossible. Literally never been done.
You know what is interesting though is Lethal is taking the fight to Scopy this game.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Sugiyomi just kind of runs at you. He just chucks abilities and just continues to run you down. You try to run away and he slows you, and then he slows you again, and then he disarms you, then he stuns you, then he slows you again. And you just have to sit there and say, "Can you just leave me alone, you mosquito?"
The worst part is when you see like those full damage Tsukiyomis, and all of a sudden your team's missing half their health from Caltrops, and you're like, "What? We walked down a lane."
Yeah, no,
Dashi.
he's one of those gods that just gets too much damage. Dashi in a really tough spot. Great wall comes out. Does not care about the beads. It is a wall that does not get you through. Need Phantom Shell for that. But you know he's still just Susanoo, so he gets to live for nothing.
Meanwhile, we see a gank on Scopy this time. Maybe Papoose will put a little more pressure on Solo this game after Scopy's performance.
I mean, certainly, and in this early game, Horus is not that strong. He at least needs that Golden Blade to be able to clear efficiently. So
Well,
before
yeah.
he gets that, he's a nice target. Unfortunately, Fallen going to be our first non-chef of the night. I guess they aren't cooking.
Oh, meanwhile, we see Thor gonna dash away there. And they did steal the first blue buff this game. So this is a different tempo than last game when both blue buffs got stolen from Wukong.
Yes, certainly a little bit of a different pace. Nobody going to steal the life away quite yet.
But we may
Horus
be
is such a reasonable god.
Yep. We see. Oh, Tsukiyomi does have ult available, but no
He doesn't have mana. He doesn't have mana. That's
He
so
didn't.
sad.
He didn't pick up the enemy blue.
That's
He
true.
did.
If he had enemy blue, he has enough mana there.
Yeah, he ults, he kills.
He
Unfortunate.
gets first blood.
Yeah. Unfortunate misplay by Lethal, just not picking up a buff.
I mean, it's shiny. It's on the ground. It's like begging to be picked up.
Yeah. Have you ever like gone ooh butterfly to a buff? Like, because I know I have. Meanwhile, Miso kind of looking for the dash angle here, and not gonna really do much about it.
Yeah, he's kind of Cthulhu. You know, if you don't hit that Ares chain, he's just going to dash and he's going to make you feel bad about it, as he
Yep.
just pushes you out of the way with that big old body.
One thing I will say that's gonna really suck for this Cthulhu is when he pushes forward and all of a sudden Ares Fire is dealing a quarter of his HP.
That's just the price you pay for becoming large.
And in charge.
I don't know if he's going to be in charge when he ults. You know, real easy to get like all of the damage of a Baba Puddle out, all the damage of every single Artemis auto in the world.
Yeah,
Real easy to get just blocked by a Thor wall because, you know, you might be the size of the map, but you still can't climb over a 2-foot ledge.
You know what that reminds me of? Have you ever seen Hadrian's Wall?
I have not.
Oh, it's literally like a 2-foot wall, but in some places it's literally just, oh, never mind. Hang on to that thought as we see a fight where Papoose just gonna ult, Cthulhu gonna ult,
This
Susanoo
could be all actually going crazy.
Miso.
Alright, I'm back in the Miso fan club.
Let's go.
I never gave up my membership. Let him live, please. Please. Leave him alone.
He's just a big
Yeah.
Uh, But anyway, back to Hadrian's Wall, where it's basically just this like 2 foot wall that like 15,000 Roman soldiers. Oh, well, there was a kerfuffle in solo too, but it's just solo things.
Like, if nobody died, it's not really a solo fight, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of solo things, Papu's gonna come over and say, "Hey," and Horace is just gonna do Horace things and 3 away.
Yeah, simply going to go, 5 miles with his 3, no problem. A little bit of a blue buff invade coming out. Good stun. Not able to secure the steal. Will he be able to secure his own safety?
We see the Thor all gonna come down. He's gonna dunky wonky. Good knock up. Suki not gonna have the stun really available. Meanwhile, we see a Baba gonna come for Tsukiyomi's blue buff and say, "This is the sins you pay for your jungler stepping up." And what am I witnessing?
Talon, I gotta respect it. Lethality died.
I can't say nothing.
Dashi going crazy with this massive rotation. Talon Reese next on the chopping block. Triple kill.
That is huge for Dashi. That is not something you want to be on the enemy team and see, though, because,
No, if I'm Nova right now, I'm quaking in my boots.
yeah.
I don't know. Lunar, is he allowed to wear boots? Because I know you wear the pants. No, not allowed to wear boots. Unfortunate.
Okay. Yo,
Quivering in the slippers then. Unlucky.
I don't even think he's allowed slippers. I think he's just stuck in socks.
Are they at least grippy socks? Like, what do we got going on?
Yeah. Blue grippy socks.
Better than nothing, Miso getting active, fighting 3 members on his own and actually winning. Nova getting forced under that tower by the sheer size of Miso.
The sheer girth of him.
I mean, he was large and in charge there for sure. I wasn't sure about the pick, but he's big with it.
So far, this is a different Death Dealers than we saw in Game 1. They already have doubled their kills at this point.
Yeah, no, for a long time it was like 2 kills to like 12 or so, something like that. So certainly going better than game number 1 was. Good stun. Bead's already forced. There's Tusky. Water going to come out, but not be able to finish up the kill. Looking for a little bit more, but I don't think that's the fight you take.
No, we see Paco's going to be forced to reset, and Papoose is going to just get Ares ulted here.
No, he missed the chain, but it doesn't matter. Papoose still going to fall.
I thought Talon was just going to ult him. I really did.
I was expecting it. Just unfortunately not on the mark with the chain, but it doesn't matter. Hammer of Dawn takes him off the map. Ice Age getting a little bit of a get back, and despite the kill advantage for Death Dealers, Ice Age is up in gold.
Is it Hammer or is it Anvil? I always thought it was an Anvil.
It's Anvil of Dawn.
Nah.
It's a hammer. He doesn't have an anvil up there just chilling.
He probably does. This is Smite. You don't know what they got up in that skybox. Meanwhile, Miso gonna be. Never mind. I thought he was caught between 2 people. No, they're caught between him.
Look at him. He's so top of the damage charts.
I'm not even gonna question Miso at this point. Okay.
Who's the ADC? Who's the support? That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is Hachi is looking, or not Hachi. Hoi Yi.
That is the Hoi experience. You don't clear wave, and if you jump in on an Artemis, she's just going to press forward and kill you.
Meanwhile,
so I understand not having a bunch of damage over there.
Yeah. What is surprising is the Artemis is outputting and now Papoose.
Not even close.
Yeah, no. Thor doesn't have ult. Papoose is safe. Wait,
he has ult.
He has ult. Never mind. Spoke too soon.
It's fine. Zoning Tsukiyomi OP. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna slow you. I'm gonna slow you again. Nothing you can do. Impassable wall. Unfortunately, not going to finish off that first item. Says, I want tier 1 soul leader actually.
I don't like that. I like finish your item, go a contagion, go something. Mr. Krabs, but
Like you have to just get that. You want that breastplate. You want that cooldown. He is so good when he has, that 40% cooldown. There
yeah,
we go. He's just working on them both at the same time. He says, "I'm gonna
he
finish my breastplate and get tier 2 soul leader."
he's optimized.
Mhm.
He
He's got the
really,
perfect amount of gold. He even has an upgraded relic.
yeah,
Got that persistent. He's got some
yeah,
persistence over there, getting pushed back. Getting pushed back by the Thor constantly. Thor
yeah.
always over there.
Same with Papoose though. Both junglers showing where they want to be on this map and what they want to be doing. Meanwhile, Miso just asserting more dominance.
I mean, how can you tell him no?
Honestly, Miso has shown that, you know,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, like, if all of a sudden he had 5 kills. That's just him.
yeah.
Other than that, though, starting to look at these builds, I'm guessing that's a Glad Shield coming out of Cthulhu. I like that. A little bit more damage.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah. Also
we got the
cooldown,
Bumba Stagger mid. Can't
Yep.
go wrong. Can't go wrong. I used to love that on Poseidon.
You know what I love that on actually? Going that on Freya ADC. Just going Bumbas.
That's fair. I that's more of a Bumba Spear though. When I think of Bumba's mid, I'm thinking that Bumba's hammer. Your Poseidon, you walk away out of sight for 2 seconds. You land a couple abilities on that mid camp, and all of a sudden you have your ult back up every 15, 20 seconds.
Yep.
Going to see a uncontested beacon go by. Death Dealer saying they got all the peeps here. It's not worth it.
Yep.
Do see him try to pull the Gold Fury, but Miso's there to say, "Nah, I'm bigger than the Gold Fury. You can't take it. That's my homie."
That's my lady.
Mm-hmm.
And Miso gonna ult there. This ult could be huge. He's looking right at Pockles, and they're not really shredding him.
He's
Gonna,
putting the damage out too.
yeah. We see Thor gonna ult. Papoose gonna kill Nova.
Yeah, way in the back. Where did that even happen? Over on the side.
Oh,
Simple
Pockles.
low. Dashy picking up Pockles. This Death Dealer comp is cooking up. Unfortunate double tap going to put Dashy incredibly low.
And
Moonlight
they're just
not
gonna
quite
back
able
up.
to get the hit. Lethality not going to be able to get himself involved quite yet. And Miso's just doing Miso things. Like, what are you gonna do about it? You can't stop him.
Yeah, Miso just proving that Miso is Miso.
Yeah, steal that green.
I was really gonna be sad if Miso confirmed that against the Horde.
How could you not be a believer in Miso? How could you root against him?
Miso has become a menace to society. He has gotten onto the most wanted lists for his performances on Cthulhu and Geb, most specifically Geb.
I mean, he's still at the top of that damage chart.
Yeah,
He's putting the work in. And this is a much closer game, Even wackier team comp, but a closer game. Maybe Death Dealers just need the spice in their life.
yeah. We see the Ares gonna come up behind the Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi gonna ult here, and it's gonna look like what's gonna
Playing some
happen?
pinball for sure.
And out comes Papoose, and gonna miss the. Oh, but Papoose is gonna pick up Talon. Solo for support, and Papoose is still on the chase. Baba Yaga gonna get looked at by this Papoose here. Susano looking. And Baba Yaga in a hefty spot of bother. Thor just gonna ult here as hang on, Miso's here. And
He's just so large.
And Thor's gonna ult away, and it looks like Scopey's in now in a spot of bother. A sticky wicket, as you would say. Oh my goodness.
Papoose had no right to get out there.
Papoose living there, And they're just gonna take the Pyro as a consolation prize for, You killed our solo, but we're gonna work on getting an objective here.
Solo for support, that's a pretty good trade when the support's talent race,
Yeah, honestly, and different game for Lethal, especially on the Suki. He's not like a level, 2 levels behind now.
hmm And I mean, he's going to be impactful in those later fights once he gets, that Soul Eater online. No, no, please, leave him alone. Yeah, you can't kill him. Just back away.
We here at the Casters are a huge fan of the Miso.
I mean, he's Hawaiian. How could you not be a fan?
You
Fallen actually having a level advantage in this game number 2 as well, having a much better time.
Yeah.
Oh, Artemis is double stacking. Okay, that makes some sense.
Yep. They are a little bit ahead, the Death Dealers, but not. Papoose gonna get looped at by Thor, and out comes Papoos's ult. Tusky gonna catch him on the back turnaround, but in comes Dashi. Gonna look to solo. Yep, he's gonna just murder Pockles.
Yeah, that is what a 4-0 now 5-0 Susano does. He has the Hydras, he has the Transcendence, and he has the damage to turn your health bar into nothing.
Yeah, we do see. That is one thing, it's like, oh yeah, I'm playing Ares. I counter this. And it's like, you do, but you have to hit the chains.
Yeah, you have to be there to stop me. Home Sweet Home going to come out. Dashi gets hit by the chain, not feeling too good now. No dancing around. No. Yeah, Cthulhu wall.
And in comes Papoose once more, looking like maybe they want to confirm this. Ice Age going to steal it away, though.
You're gonna let him take that? Come on.
And they're gonna look for something here, but Papoose's beads are gonna get forced out, and he's just gonna start walking away. That is one good thing about this Hebo, though. This carpet, it cleanses slows, which on top of Ares chain crippling you, it does apply a little bit of a slow. I think it's what.
It's not a huge one, but it's enough to let him just keep walking at you. So you get that carpet down. It gives you just enough distance to break that chain. So definitely not a bad counter for it. Other than that, we just see Ice Age just keeping the stacking up. Nova building his third, Pockles building his second. He doesn't want the yellow. He doesn't want it. He's not interested.
He just isn't about that.
I mean, he's a level up. He's doing something right, So if he doesn't want the speed, then the speed just isn't for him. Fallen in a tough spot. Looks like he might get soloed out by Pockles.
Yeah.
Both ults expended, and the Tusky is just a little bit stronger than the what's that? Sunbreaker? I can't think of the name. I don't play Hoi.
I think it is Sunbreaker.
I think it's Sunbreaker. I'm not sure.
Meanwhile, we see the toaster oven of Thor come out, because we don't know what's in that skybox still. Oh, Dashi gonna get the kill. Oh
but
my!
He gets the double. It's worth it.
Yep.
Just let Miso get it. Oh no, the chain. We gotta go.
We gotta go. We're getting cooked.
That Ares fire hurts so bad when you have 2 trillion health.
But he's just gonna live.
He has a Tsukiyomi backup. He's fine. He got the knock up. He's got Tsukiyomi caltrops. He's out. Can't be stopped. Lethality might die for his sins, but it's not too big of a deal.
Ooh, Tusky gonna pick up
No!
Oh, baby boy, Miso. Alright, someone has to die for their sins on Miso.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like everybody's going to be able to just walk away for now. No, he'll get his get back. It is Sunbreaker, let's go.
We were right.
At least this time.
Yep.
Dashi, we're gonna get a little bit of aggressive over there, thinking that Pyromancer looks kind of good. Anvil up, Anvil down, Fallen going to be taking that one to the gray screen. Who's
Yep.
going to ult out, but will it be enough? Slow comes out from Artemis. Nova going to be able to pick that one up. And Death Dealer's starting to fall apart a little bit towards this mid game, you know? Starting to get those builds online. All of a sudden, people don't just instantly die to the assassin, and they have to, you know, come up with a little bit more of a game plan as Ice Age starts to kind of run away with this lead.
What do you mean people don't just die to the assassin? Every time I play mid, all of a sudden I feel like a Susanoo down my neck and I'm dead.
He doesn't even hit you with abilities. He just kind of whispers, "You're dead" to you, and you die. You know?
Yeah. Like, why isn't it like when I play a mage in mid and Susanoo's against me, I can't do anything, but when someone else plays Susanoo against a mage, he can do everything.
Well, that's just the way it is. The other team just has an inherent buff. That's what I've learned playing Smite. I couldn't do it and make it work, but the other team can. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Especially when, you know, you're playing casuals or ranked and all of a sudden you're like, why did I solo queue this game?
That's your problem. You're solo queuing.
Listen,
You
like,
see, I queued 3 games yesterday in a 4 stack.
yeah, and they were all bad.
How many times do you think a person left?
Every game, baby.
Every game. Every game turned into a 4v5.
Oh, Miso, oh, you gonna miss the mark there. Miso gonna try to do everything, gonna get stunned, but just not enough. He can. Now you're just gonna watch as his chonkiness just walks away. Thor gonna go up in the air to ult. Miso still being thicker than a Snicker and eating that Thor ult like it's a piece of
No,
cake.
the wall. No.
Dashi forced the ult. Gonna switch the angle on that real quick.
Yeah, looking for aggression immediately into that defense, not looking to die. Oh, we just split pushing out here. We're just down and dirty with it. I respect it. Death Dealers do not care about morals. They do not care about anything. You can't take our middle Phoenix if we threaten your right Phoenix.
Exactly, but we do see them reset. They did force. Oh, huge pull, but he's going to immediately die for his sins. This mid could be threatened here, but we see a blink in. Papu's going to just send someone almost to the shadow realm there with that ult. Lethal going to threaten the... Miso going to kill Talon Reese. He says, no, that's my kill, baby.
Mm-hmm. He's got to keep himself even. He's 2-2 now.
Yeah, 2-2-5, you know? Miso, I feel like, is just whispering in people's ears, like, I'm here. Just the soft caress of his voice is right in your ear.
He's got to make sure that he's remembered one way or another, you know?
Exactly.
Either, you know, going to semis or just being the Cthulhu support that did it to him, you know?
Well, so far it's looking like he's going to be remembered as the Cthulhu support that did him down and dirty.
Yeah, certainly, you know, not a lost game by any means. Only a 7K lead at this, you know, 24-minute mark. Not awful.
Yeah, not that, like, 9-10K we saw last game where it was just... We see the Horus dashing in to get the stun. Horus beating immediately, going to kill Miso. Is he dead for his crime against Miso? No, instead they're going to pick up Papoose on the backside of this. Falling going to take the 1v1 against Pockles, and it looks like Pockles is going to pick up the kill.
Oh, we going in?
Yep. We see Lethal going in here, ulting using Piercing Moonlight there, and instead Dashy's dead instead of Lethal.
I just think that there's a better way. You know, instead of going in one at a time, maybe we just go in as 5, you know? Maybe everybody at the same time. Give them a little bit of a chance, you know?
You know, here's the thing, they're making it real easy to give you just constant action, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, there is absolutely no delay in the action. Death Dealers, again, keeping it entertaining at the very least.
Yep. And we see Tsukiyomi just on the other side of the map. Maybe he's going to threaten that left side Titan. Maybe not. Meanwhile, you know, Ice Age going to pick up the objective here. Starting to lose my voice. And we have Miso again.
Look at him. He's just walking around. Look at him. That's a stud.
Yeah, look at him.
Sounds like we got some cars outside, pulling up just like the Death Dealers in a spectacular fashion. This Titan isn't dying as much as I thought it would with a Tsukiyomi hitting it, not gonna lie.
Not gonna lie, you know, I don't think he does that. Miso's here to do the damage, you know?
That's true, that's true. Oh, he's at the bottom of the damage charts now. Ah, that's so sad. That hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
He just needs 200 damage.
There we go.
Let's go.
Meanwhile, we see a contagion on. You know what I'm noticing? A very distinct lack of one thing on this team: anti-heal.
They don't need it.
Meanwhile, on the other side, they have, for a team that pretty much has no built-in healing, we've got a Pesty, a Brawlers, Contagion, and in comes the Horror Assault, but Cthulhu zoning 4 away. Scopey gonna pick up the kill. Scopey gonna pick up a double kill. So we're gonna ult on the back here. Looking at Lethal. Lethal's gonna use Piercing Moonlight to try to get into the back line. And it looks like he's dead for his crimes. Miso gonna look to pick up someone. Bashi gonna take the kill from Miso. But Dashi's in a spot of bother. It's just Miso against 4. You know, I think that might be game.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Miso quite has it in him to kill 4 people on the Titan. Health bar is surprisingly low. Scopey just had to pop beads to get away, but it's still burning. There's no time left.
Yeah.
And Death Dealers, unfortunately, not going to be making an appearance in the semis. Not going to bring us, you know, the super content. But at the very least, you know, they went out with a bang.
Yeah, they gave us the Miso special. That's all we needed.
Yep. Ice Age going to take that one in a pretty convincing 2-0. But, you know, they didn't have to reveal too much with scouting, you know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's the plan.
Yeah, Miso was him. That's all we saw.
That's all I need to know.
Exactly.
Yeah, he got all the way back up to second highest damage on the team. He cooked.
He cooked. He almost held it at the end there. He almost did pull it off.
He was close. He was a couple ability rotations away from saving that game. Just unfortunate.
That Titan being unreasonably tanky because of, you know, there was, I think, a tier 1 still up in solo. So Scopey not being able to take a tier 1 is horrors, kind of.
Yeah, pretty cringe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's gonna do it for today. I want to say that finalizes semis for Canes. I want to say that's going to be Ice Age versus Headhunters. Oh, fun. We don't quite know yet. You know, I receiving word. You know, haven't crunched all the numbers quite yet. But we do have a couple of sets later in the week, I want to say. What do we have? Sunday? Yeah. Nobody wants to reschedule, so at least expect to see a game on Sunday, possibly another one if we get some reschedules, but I think that's about it for tonight.